Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here with a brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shop video today. And well, today is a really exciting news. And I'm going to be talking more about this throughout the video. But today, the Indiegogo campaign for me and Lauren Francesca's brand new film, Pay to Die, has now launched. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this movie, guys. And on the Indiegogo campaign, we have a number of different perks on there. And I'm going to talk more about that as we go into Target and everything. But today, though, new release-wise, when it comes to, releases that are out in stores and everything, the main really big thing that was coming out is the Bob's Burger movie, and I believe I saw there's going to be a Best Buy exclusive steelbook of that one, and then I don't know if there's going to be anything exclusive at Target or Walmart, and I believe there's a handful of other, like this, there's a few indie horror films that should be available at Walmart. We'll see. I think there's a couple other things, but also though at the end of this video is going to be a whole bunch of brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews for some things I received a review and talk about for you guys. And as always too, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks, 4Ks that are reviewed. If you guys have seen them, what you guys thought of them, but like I said, I'm just so excited about this next film. We'll be talking more about that as we go into Target. But anyway, though, guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Target we go. But like I was saying, I have some really exciting news when it comes to the brand new film that me and Lauren Francesca are going to be co-directing together, Pay to Die. And like I was saying, the Indiegogo campaign for the film just launched and went up live today. And I am so excited about this film. This is going to be the third film that I'm going to be co-directing with Lauren Francesca. The first one we did was Woods Witch, and then we did Mistletoe Massacre, and now we're doing Pay to Die. And this is an idea that I've had for like well over 3 years, and I am so excited to finally get to do this. It's basically about a group of filmmakers trying to put together a horror film where when they're trying to get this thing together, everything you can imagine that goes wrong making this production. Problems with the cast, problems with the locations, everything. To top things off, there ends up being a killer on the set, killing off the cast and crew. So it's every problem you can imagine for these filmmakers making this movie. So it's going to be a 1980s style comedy horror slasher film. And like I was saying, we have the Indiegogo campaign, which just went up for the film today. And there's a lot of different perks on there with ways you guys can help the project. Like there's a special thanks credit you guys can get, and then you get special thanks at the film's end credits as well as on IMDb. So if you guys haven't had an IMDb page before, this will get you like an IMDb profile on there with a special thanks credit. There's also stuff to get, producer credits like associate producer, co-producer, executive producer, and so on and so forth, producer-wise. There's also roles to come out and act in person in the film. Those ones are available on the campaign, as well as stuff that you guys can shoot from home if you guys weren't able to come out in person. So the shoot from home ones that are on there is like to be a video blogger. So you would be a character talking about, like doing like basically like a YouTuber talking about the murders that happened in the film. One of the other ones that was on there is to be a newscaster, and then you'll be kind of as a newscaster commenting on what these terrible murders that happened. And the other one is to be an auditioner. Those are ones that you can shoot from home. And basically if you're the auditioner, you're playing this crazy character auditioning to be in the film, and that's something you can shoot from home as well. But there's other stuff as well, like product placements, your music in the movie. If you guys make music, you can get your music in the film. And tons of different stuff we have on there, your logo in the film. So lots and lots of different stuff we have on this one. But I just wanted to say, guys, thanks again for all the support on these projects. I wouldn't be able to do these things without you guys, and I appreciate everything so much. So like I said, guys, thanks again for everything. And I'll have a link as well to my Facebook page. So if you guys have any questions about any of the perks or anything like that, you guys can reach out to me on there all about it and everything. But thanks again for everything, guys. And there's also, in case I didn't mention it, there's also a digital copy of the film that you guys can get as well. But anyway, though, guys, thanks again for all the support. But now we're gonna head into Target, and fingers crossed they have some stuff out today. We shall see. Well, we'll take a look here in the front and see if there's anything different here. And I always talk about how this front area, kind of like every so often they change it out, but for the most part it's usually the same stuff. So yeah, it seems to be like Dumbledore and some of the ones from the past couple weeks, Secrets of Dumbledore. But other than that, nothing really new here. It's crazy, they still have so many copies of Morbius, like of the Target exclusive. You never really see the exclusive ones hang around and stuff. So it's so funny that there's that many of them left, especially in the front of the store for that one. But other than that, these ones have always been pretty much the same stuff. And I always mention how Harry Potter kind of laid claim to this spot in the store, and it never moved. It's like, I feel like it's been in that spot for maybe like, I don't know, 2 years or so now. And I think like the Avengers movies have laid claim to this spot here too. And then like there's just randomly like West Side Story. It's like really weird because like you'd think if it was going to be all like Marvel movies, and then West Side Story. It's just kind of funny. But we're going to head over to the actual section though and see what else they have over there and see if they have any exclusive for Bob's Burgers. Yeah, so just got out of Target and absolutely nothing was out in there. They had the spots for things, like they had the spot for Bob's Burger movie, and they also are going to carry the Good Burger. So they had the spot for the Good Burger Steelbook. So that's really cool. They're going to carry that in there. But no, other than that, nothing was put out in there. It seems to be the thing that happens in Target lately, but we'll see if there's any more luck in Walmart. We shall see. Into Walmart we go. But we're going to head back, though, and see what they have out. And I have not peeked or anything like that. We are going to go, though, to one of the other Walmarts, though, too. I wanted to make sure to mention as well, this week I am going to be at the San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm actually going to Comic-Con tomorrow. So there will be a preview night video and all that stuff as well. So yeah, I'm really excited because it's like the first time it's like the real true Comic-Con, because the last one was just that Comic-Con, like the smaller kind of thing that they did that I went to, and it was like it was kind of like not as many of the same things there and not as many people or anything like that. But we're gonna head over here and see, you know, what there is. And all I'm really seeing right now is just kind of like the old stuff. I see the ad for the Bob's Burger movie, but I see Everything Everywhere All at Once, you know, because this was out a couple weeks ago. But they have the spots. Everyone's have the spots today for things. Bob's Burger, DVD and Blu-ray. It doesn't look like there's anything exclusive. It doesn't see like there's another version here. But it might be, though. Maybe it is. I don't know. But nothing new is here. Let me see if I can peek over here. There are a couple things here, though, today, though, like Vendetta, this new Bruce Willis one. This came out today, as well as Duel, and then Castlevania Season 4, this released today. And then they also had the Reno 911, the new Reno 911 film came out. And then I think Black Site was last Tuesday. But let me see if there's anything else over here mixed in this spot. I see like the stuff that was last Tuesday. This one was new, the X, I believe. Dash Cam was last week. Just trying to see if there's anything else mixed in up here. But no, it doesn't look like anything else new here as far as I can tell. We are, like I said, going to go to the one other location too, so we'll see if there's anything else different at that one. But it's so weird that they don't have the Bob's Burger one out, unless it might have already possibly sold, because I know Bob's Burger is really popular, so maybe it actually sold, but I don't know. I feel like they might not put it out, though. But I'm noticing a couple newer ones of these that I don't feel like I remember seeing, these limited edition artworks. Like, I definitely never saw this Morbius one. That's definitely new. Uncharted, I think I saw. Some of these I believe I saw, but I know I don't think I saw that one. There's a Ghostbusters Afterlife one, Ghostbusters 3 movie collection. These are actually really cool. Venom one. So yeah, these, and there's a oh yeah, I never saw this one. Jumanji 2 movie collection, Hotel Transylvania 3 movie collection. But yeah, they've definitely changed a couple things in here. Like, I don't remember seeing The Good Witch and a few of these ones. They every so often you have to check these areas and they mix in new stuff. Like this they got in the past couple weeks, this re-release edition with the slipcover for Phantasm. But then I started looking more and I actually realized they have a whole other new thing here. This one is Get Into the Glow, and these are all glow-in-the-dark ones. So these are all brand new. This is like the Tremors one, Dragonheart, Game of Thrones. I've never seen like a they're basically just the same ones with slipcovers on them, but still cool. Jurassic World, Godzilla vs. Kong, Dune, yeah, the Snow and the Huntsman, Scorpion King, Terminator 6 film collection, Mummy, The Matrix, here, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicle. I never can say that one right. Connor Chronicles. I'm very tired. I didn't sleep very much this evening because I was launching the campaign. Back to the Future trilogy, Riddick, Mortal Kombat, Waterworld, Final Destination, Westworld, Logan's Run. So yeah, a lot of different ones here. E.T., Detective Pokemon. There's even a He-Man Masters of the Universe one. Aquaman, Batman Beyond. That's a really cool one. Justice League, Detective Pikachu, Battlestar Galactica, Little Shop of Horrors. So yeah, these are really cool ones. I think these are very cool, ones. Like I said, it's just a new slipcover, but still very, very cool. But yeah, there definitely was a lot of different, new slipcover editions in there today. Like, I had no idea. Like, I showed that one area, then I went around the other side and was like, okay, there's nothing else. And then all those glow-in-the-dark ones. It's crazy how many of those ones that they have. Those ones must have, like, literally just been put out, or that maybe they were there for, like, 2 weeks and I just never looked in the back, back area of the shelf there, and they could have been there, but I feel like those were brand new. But definitely were the cooler of some of those slipcover ones that I've seen. And the slipcover ones, and they have like a different, really interesting kind of look to them as well. Into Walmart we go. And luckily enough, in here, though, they have out some of the stuff. I see some stuff is missing, but they have the main big things today, which was the Bob's Burgers movie. That one came out today, and that one's $24.99 for the Blu-ray and then $19.99 for the DVD. Now, I will say, though, this is crazy to say this, but when it comes to certain shows, like Bob's Burgers is one of those things where I literally have never seen one episode in my entire life. And I do not know how or why I never watched this, but I never saw any episodes. I don't know if this is one of those movies where you need to kind of like see the show to understand the movie, or it's one of those things where you could see the movie and then like without seeing the show. Let me know in the comments if this is like one of those kind of things like that or not, because I have a feeling you kind of need to know. There's some shows where it's like if you don't see all the episodes, you're not going to get it, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, because they reference all these stuff from like season 1 and 2 and the newest seasons and stuff. So, but I don't know if maybe this is one of those things where it's like if you haven't seen the other ones, you're not going to get it. But other than that, though, I did see they have all the same, the glow-in-the-dark ones out here as well. These are really cool, though. Like I said, I like the look of these with this blue tint and everything that they have to them. It's actually pretty cool, and one of the more different ones of these in a while. I always hear that thing, Walmart radio. So here's some more of these. But let's take a look over here and see if there's anything else different over here. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, they have a few more things out in this one. Like they have Ancient Alien season 15, but all these other ones they had out in the other one. This one, you know, is Jared Cohn's new one, this Vendetta. I saw the trailer for this one. This actually looked pretty decent because this has, you know, Bruce Willis is in it, but then it has Mike Tyson in it as well. If you guys have watched this, though, let me know how this one was. And I feel like this is definitely wrong. There's no way Duel is $29.99, so this is definitely the wrong sticker for this one here. But other than that, I'm trying to see if there's anything else new here that I can tell. It doesn't look like it. These ones were not new. They're just like, it says Batman. Sharkbait, that was last Tuesday. That seems to have sold out. But I'm seeing to see if there's anything else here. But look at how many Bruce Willis movies there are. It's like Bruce Willis. It's like Bruce Willis. It's like the whole area. It's like Bruce Willis is taking over. It's just sad that he's not able to act anymore and stuff. But I was always a huge fan of Bruce Willis too. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was a dream to get in one of these movies. I was like a total dream. This is one that came out today called The X. This one looks kind of interesting. If you guys have seen this one, let me know how this was. It's like a weird, like, ghostly image here. Dash cam, that was out last Tuesday. These other ones were all last Tuesday. Doesn't seem like there's anything else new here except for the X. And maybe the X actually was last Tuesday. Yeah, that's the thing. The X could have been last Tuesday, and they might have just not put it out on the shelves. But other than that, though, like I said, that seems to be all the main new ones here that I can see today, as far as I can tell. Into Best Buy we go. So I'll take a look over here, though, and see if they have any of the... yeah, see, I can tell it looks like they don't have any more of the Bob's Burgers one. So, yeah, the Steelbook, $34.99. So that one went really fast today. But the standard Blu-ray, though, for that one is $24.99 for that one. Like I was saying, though, let me know if this is one of those things where you have to have seen the show to understand this, or this is one of those movies where you could watch it and still kind of understand it. But let's see anything else over here different. Like I always say, you always check here just because you never know, because sometimes they can put things here. But other than that, though, like I'm not seeing anything new here. They do have the Men in Black Steelbook. That was one of the ones that came out today. And that one is $26.99. For that one. It's a very, very cool steelbook for this one. And then there is this 3-movie collection for this one. This is one of those ones, though, that almost feels like it should have like a slipcover or something on it, because it seems sort of like plain like this. But it has, you know, the 3 of the movies together. It doesn't have international in it, though. I liked all the sequels, though. I mean, I feel like when it comes to the movies, though, the first one is absolutely the best, but both the sequels I thought were still watchable and everything. But let's see. I'm not seeing anything else different here. Over here, they have another copy of Bob's Burgers, but none of the steelbooks. And was this one the Pompo the Cinephile today? I think this might have been released today. And then other than that, though, I'm trying to look through here and see any other different ones. Duel, this one came out today, and this one here is $13.99 for the Blu-ray. And I believe this was today too. This one, Fortune Favorites Lady Nico. This was one as well, I believe, came out. And then other than that, though, I'm trying to see if there's anything else mixed in here. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Over here, these were last week. Yes, and other than that, though, I don't see any other new ones here. That seems to be all the main new ones here today, though. So, hello guys, that was all for my brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Let me know though in the comments below though, what you guys ended up picking up today on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K. If you guys ended up picking up anything new. Also, too, let me know, anything new that you guys have seen, watched on streaming, or any new films that you guys have seen in theaters, or any new TV shows that you've been watching lately, or anything like that as well. And also, too, like I was saying earlier in the video, be sure to check out the Indiegogo campaign for me and Lauren's brand new film, the film Pay to Die. And like I was saying, we have a lot of stuff on there with ways you guys can help with the special thanks credits. So you get a credit at the end of the movie and on IMDb, or you get the digital copy of the film so you guys can see the film. So there's a lot of different stuff like that, and then the self-film parts and producing roles and all that stuff. But thanks again, guys, like I said, for all the support and help on the projects. I appreciate it all so much, and this is one, like I said, I am so excited about. So you guys are hearing me talk about it a lot because I really cannot wait for this one. But thanks again for everything, guys. Now stay tuned for the brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews. And the first one I got here is from Arrow Video, and this is the brand new 4K Ultra HD edition here of the film Flatliners. And this is the film which stars, Kevin Bacon, Kiefer, Sutherland, and Julia Roberts. And I've always really loved this film. This is one of those movies about these medical school students who they kind of they do these experiments where they want to see kind of like the afterlife. And they start doing these things where they basically, make it so they die. And then one of the other students in the group, they bring them back to, to life and, resuscitate them. So basically they die and then they kind of say what they see. And essentially, though, they're doing these experimentations, and from doing this, it basically, the things that they see, it's not good, and they start seeing very weird things, and those weird things start to come into reality. And it's a very, very, very creepy movie. They made a remake to this as well, which the remake though was not great. So if you've only ever seen the remake and you're like, oh, I wouldn't want to see this, watch the original. The original is an amazing movie. I've always really loved this one. For some reason too, when I think of this movie, I always think a little bit of Jacob's Ladder as well, because I feel like it kind of had I don't know, sort of similar visuals in some senses, like some of the sort of scary stuff that you saw in Jacob's Ladder had these really scary images. So it kind of has a slightly similar feel to Jacob's Ladder, just a little bit. Not the story-wise, just kind of the visuals and the creepy stuff that you see from dying and stuff. This one has on here, though, a feature-wise, it has a brand new 4K restoration from the original camera negative, and it's a director of photography approved. It has on here, though, brand new commentary track on here with film critics. It has on here brand new interview on here with the screenwriter on here, a brand new interview with the director of photography, a brand new interview with the first assistant director, a new interview on here. New video interview with the composer on here, interview with the costume designer. So lots and lots of features on this one. I'll show you guys though a look inside here as well. And just keep in mind though, it only includes the 4K version of the film, and it has a booklet in here with stuff about the film, stills from the movie and everything. Like I said, if you guys have not seen this movie though, it is a absolute must watch. I've always really loved this movie. And like I said, it has a similar, I don't know how to explain it, just a similar kind of feel. Like when I think of this movie, I always think of Jacob's Ladder. The next one here, this is from Paramount. And this is one I almost didn't know this one was being made. I knew that there was that series that they made when they brought this back. It was like a strange kind of a streaming service where you needed to use your phone to look at it, and you had to hold it upright. I don't remember what it was called. I forgot what it was called, but I remember they brought back Reno 911 on that, and I think they put those episodes now and recut them or something and put them on Roku or something. But I didn't know this, but Paramount Plus made a brand new Reno 911 movie, and this one here is called Reno 911: The Hunt for Qanon. I think it's for Q, but then it's the full title is Hunt for Q. But this was fun, and the thing that was cool about this was they shot it all in the Queen Mary, because I think now they're I think it's going to be opened up again, but there's a period of time when the Queen Mary was closed, when everything that happened in the world, and then they didn't think they were going to be able to open it again, so then they were shooting a lot of productions on it. They shot this, they shot The Asylum, shot Titanic 666 on there. There's a handful of other things. I would love to have shot on there. I didn't even realize that was going on. I probably could have done it for a day, but this was really fun. It's basically though about them all going to try and track down this character Q that they're looking for, and they end up on this kind of weird boat cruise thing. It's a real falling down, crappy boat cruise that they are on. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. It totally has that same feel of the original, series back in the day. Just same kind of humor. I don't know. It's definitely old school with the humor and stuff too. But has on here though 10 deleted scenes on this one. I'm glad though that we're seeing the Paramount Plus stuff, get physical releases. So I'm Paramount, I'm really happy you're doing that. So thank you very much. It's I saw that Orphan is going to be, I think, on Paramount Plus. Orphan 2. So that's one. Please, please, I want to have a physical copy of that. The next one here, this is from Warner Brothers. They sent over a free copy. This one to let you guys know this one was available. And this is the 7th and final season here of the show, DC Legends of Tomorrow. And this is a show, I've watched occasional episodes of this one here and there. And it's basically, though, about a group of these people who go... They can essentially time travel, and they go into certain type of times to try and fix things and prevent certain things from happening. So they can kind of go and like infiltrate certain people when they do this. So they kind of go back and like, oh, this person had something bad happen to them. They go back and kind of take over for that person to try and prevent it from happening, and then they leave. It's really interesting. This one has on here, though, feature-wise, San Diego Comic-Con at Home cast panel on here, and then it has the Captain of Helm 100th episode on here, unaired scenes, as well as a gag reel on this one here. The next one here, I can move this one wrong. I'm trying to put these things in the right position. The next one here, this is from Kino Lorber, and this is a show that I always really liked, and I'm glad that this is getting Blu-ray releases. I feel like there was, I think it was 3 seasons that this show was on for, and this is the show, the Night Gallery, and this was from, this season ran from 1971 to 1972, and basically, this was a kind of like, not exactly a follow-up, because it wasn't in the same series or anything like that of The Twilight Zone, but it was, the same host and everything, Rod Sterling. Is it Sterling? For some reason I think I call him that. Is that his real name, Rod Sterling, or am I like messing that up? I don't know. But basically it has the same host, of course, in The Twilight Zone. And this is every episode, it's a horror-themed, eccentric episode. So it's like, creepy characters, like haunted houses, all these different things. I like this. I kind of like... the thing that's really cool about this series to me is this, this was 1971, 72, and this is the time when they were making a lot of the really, really cool, like Bad Ronald, Crawl Space, a lot of those like TV movies. And this series to me felt like almost like mini TV movies, like for like the horror and thriller ones that they were making back then. And they were really cool. And I there's something about like 70s TV movies that I love. I absolutely love them, like Invitation to Sarah, like all those kind of ones are really fun to watch. So that's the thing that's cool about this show, is that it has that same kind of vibe a little bit, because it's very 70s, has that sort of TV movie vibe, because it's like they were produced more like a movie the way they produce these. So really, I don't know, I really like them. This one has on here, though, 32 audio commentaries on here with author and film historians on these ones. It has Lost Tales from season 2 on here, Revisiting the Gallery, a look back, featurettes on here with some of the actors on the show, the Syndication Conundrum Part 2 on here, look at, the show's troubled second life and reruns, because this is a show that you really didn't see too much with reruns, 17 TV spots and more, because it's like, of course, Twilight Zone you would see rerun all the time, but not that show. The next one here, this is from RLJ Entertainment, and this is also from AMC, and this is one here called The Dirty Black Bag Season 1 here. And this is basically, though, about like these bounty hunters that kind of came into this small town, and it was kind of like they were it was essentially about trying to track down, unless I'm mixing this up, because I watched a bunch of stuff, but unless I mix it all up, from what I remember, they were going into town and they're trying to track down like they were bounty hunters, and they were trying to track down a specific guy, and the town that they were in, though, was one of those kind of things where everything was kind of falling apart and kind of getting kind of overrun. So it's kind of like a whole big thing about this sort of town all kind of falling apart with this group of these bounty hunters. So it's a real gritty kind of Western type show, on here. And like I said, this is the complete first season here of the show, but it says on here too, a gritty modern take on the spaghetti Western. That's really what it is. It feels like those, like 1970s Western films, but it's like done now with a modern take and everything on it. The next ones here, these are from both from Screen Media. This is one that was really interesting seeing called Monstrous, which stars Christina Ricci. And this was basically, though, about Christina Ricci's character, who she moves to this new house with her son. And it's essentially, though, about like kind of like she's going there to kind of get away from things, and kind of like in this middle of nowhere kind of area. And anytime you move to somewhere where it's like the middle of nowhere, it doesn't go well and it becomes a big problem. And she gets out there, and it's like immediately she starts kind of like, there's some sort of a weird presence. Her son starts kind of acting strange, and she starts to realize that there's something out there, and because the son is kind of like out by the lake, and it's like there's something out in this lake. It's very creepy. It's a slow burn film, but I've always been a fan of Christina Ricci, so I always watch all of her stuff. And she hasn't been in, when I was trying to think too about horror films, she's been in like Lizzie, and there's a couple of them like Cursed, but not that many. I'm glad to see that she's going back and doing more horror movies, because I remember she was talking about like couple of years ago on Instagram, I remember she was like making a post about like her favorite horror films, and she was sharing about all these like obscure weird ones. So I'm like, oh, she actually legitimately watches like weird horror movies. The next one was from Screen Media as well, and this is one here called 11th Hour Cleaning, and this was cool. This was like, basically about like this crime scene cleanup crew, like if there's like a murder or something like that, and they send in the crime scene to kind of go and clean up the scene and everything of the murder and everything. And like they made a movie like that about a crime scene. I think it was called, was it Sunshine Cleaning? I never watched it, but I think that was about like crime scenes from what I can remember. But basically they go to this crime scene. When they get there though, they see like pentagrams and weird things on the floor, and they're noticing something odd was going on there. And it's basically about them in this rundown house that's where the murder was, why weird sort of things start to happen. They start to kind of hear things, they start seeing things there, and it comes to realize that there's obviously there was something more that happened on the scene that they start to discover. A very, very creepy slow burn one here. The other one here, this is from Screen Media as well, and this is one that stars Zac Efron, called Gold. This is another interesting movie. This is like this is shot in Australia, and it has that real, like, everything in Australia, too, they have that real cool, like, Mad Max kind of feel, like this post-apocalyptic kind of feel. You don't have to do a lot to make it, like, post-apocalyptic out there. There's a lot of those areas that have that, like, real classic look. And the thing that's always cool when you watch a lot of these movies that are in Australia, you recognize all these areas from, like, Body Melt, and there's a lot of weird ones. I think Highway to Hell, I'm imagining that was filmed out there. I don't think it was. But there's a lot of stuff that they shot, in Australia. Of course, all the Mad Max movies. So, I don't know. This was a cool movie, though. It was like, it's not really like an end of the world type thing. It's got that sort of feel, but Zac Efron's character goes out to the middle of the desert, and he goes with his guide because he's trying to go out there to find this gold. And he ends up coming across this enormous gold nugget out there. And it becomes this whole thing about what they're going to do. And like, he has to stay out into the middle of the desert, like Zac Efron's character, to guard it while the other guy leaves. And it's sort of about him kind of cracking up out there. It was really interesting. But this one was really well done. I thought it was a different kind of role for Zac Efron as well. Like I said, this one here was called Gold. And the next one I got here is from RLJ Films. This is one here which stars Karen Gillan and Aaron Paul. And Theo James was also in this movie as well. And this is one here called Duel. And this was an interesting movie. It's basically, though, about like, if you find out that you're sick and you're going to die, and there's nothing that you can do, and it's basically no matter what, you were going to die from a sickness, you can go and have yourself cloned. And it's an interesting idea. So basically you have yourself cloned, and then the clone spends time with you before you die, and then like kind of picks up your mannerisms and like the way you act and all that stuff. And then basically when you die, the clone goes and stays with your family. It's a very strange out there concept. And basically, though, Karen Gillan starts like throwing up the one day, and it's like this blood and everything, and she's like comes to find out that she's very sick and she's going to die. So she hears about this whole cloning thing, and to help her family and everything, she decides to do it. But what she comes to find out with after she's done all this stuff and with the clone, that she's not going to die, and then it becomes, there can only be one. There's not allowed to be two. So that's basically all I can say. But it was interesting. I thought this was actually, always been a fan too of Karen Gillan, from Oculus and of course Guardians of the Galaxy movies. There's a show that she was on too. I forget what that was called. But this one has on here though the making of Duel on here, and a director's audio commentary on this one. The next one here, this one is from Wild Eye. This is one I'm excited to let you guys know. This comes out on I believe it's late next month. And this one, now I will say though, it is very strange because I don't know what happened. Somehow I was totally forgotten on the back of for the movie for this thing. It's very strange. I was very much left out. And the thing that's so weird is I'm the star of this movie, and it's all about me. But it's a movie here called Amityville Hex. And I didn't direct this one or anything though. This is directed by Tony Newton, but I did write some of the stuff on it with him. And this was all shot during everything that was going on in the world right in the very, very beginning. I think it was April, we did this, and it was all shot from home. And it's basically about this cursed hex where I'm telling people that I heard about this hex, and daring people to read it. And of course I read the hex, and anybody that reads this hex goes crazy, and bad things start to happen to them. They start losing their minds. So this is about a group of people that that are kind of fans of my character. That's why I said it's so funny. I'm on the back, but they're reading the hex and everything. And then, weird things start to happen to them. But I got a lot of people involved on here. I got Mercedes Duvall on here that works with Trauma, has directed some films for Trauma. George Stover from Female Trouble. Veronica Ricci I got in here. Chad Wrigley. Luna Meow. So you guys can see Luna Meow acting in the film. Mercedes the Muse. Oh, no, sorry. Mercedes Duvall was from the film Deranged. Mercedes the Muse was from the Trauma film. It has Kyle Rapport's in here. So got a lot of people in this one. And like I said, I can't wait for you guys to watch it. If you guys pick this up, let me know what you think. Like I said, hopefully, that's like I said, it's just so weird. I'm not on there, but somehow I was forgotten on it, but I am the star of the movie and everything. This is my movie, so like I said, let me know what you guys think when you guys get to check it out. I'm very happy with it. It's very sad though. It's not a positive movie. What's going on with people in it, but everyone did a really good job. Andrew De Leon is also in the film as well. You guys will remember him from America's Got Talent. He sings, he would sing opera and everything. So I was really glad to get him. So I really worked to get a lot of people, involved with this one. The next one here, this is from MVD as well. This is from their brand new line that they have. They started, it's called Visual Vengeance. They're doing more like a lot of lesser known films, some shot on video films, stuff that hasn't, gotten, some of these things too. I don't even know if they've ever gotten DVD releases before. And this is one here called Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell. And this is one here, like I said, so it's a bit of a tongue twister, Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell. And they have lots of different features on here. It has an archival 1995 SD master on here, feature-wise, interview on here with the director, commentary track on here with Adam Green and Joe Lynch. So that's really cool. Adam Green, directed Hatchet and Frozen. Joe Lynch, did Mayhem, Creep Show. I always think of him too for Wrong Turn 2. And then commentary track on here with Japanese film historians, archival trailers from the Japanese release, archival image gallery. Inside of here too, there's a different artwork on here too. And then there's also a lot of stuff they include, which is really cool in the edition. So they have like little stickers that are included with it. Like they kind of that say like unrated, adults only, monster hit 16mm. And this is really cool too, a actual like card that you use, like a rental card. And it has on here, rent 10, get 1 free. So that's really cool that they included that in here. And then little booklets on here as well. So these are really cool additions. They're doing a really great job, on these releases here. It's a really cool new line that they're doing. I'm hoping to, because I know they at one point owned Crawl Space. So maybe they get Crawl Space on this line. The next ones here, these are all from, from moviezing.com. I have a link below where you guys can order these ones. And this one is the complete first season here of the show Yellow Jackets. And this is a show that Christina Ricci is, on, as well, because I was just talking about Monstrous. And this is interesting. This is one of those shows that's about a group it starts off when they were, teenagers, and they went on this trip, and it's one of those things where it cuts back and forth to what happened. And this group of these kids were all together on this trip, and something happened out in the woods, and they ended up kind of stranded out there. And it's one of those kind of things where it's like, you kind of start finding out, because I just started watching this now, but you start finding out more and more about this as it goes along. It's a really, really well done character piece, just about dealing, kind of sort of running from your past and things that happened in the past, and now when they're kind of coming to haunt you again. This one has on here, though, some featurettes on the film here, the female lens, and Yellow Jackets, the favorite moments featurettes on this one. And the other one here from Movie Zing, and this is a fun movie. This is a star of Steve Martin. It's one that you don't hear about too much, called Leap of Faith. And this is basically, he was like a televangelist, preacher, a preacher that goes around, and it's kind of about the faking aspect of some televangelists, where they go around and do this, and they have stuff kind of that wasn't really legitimate going on with it and stuff like that. It kind of is all about the go-ons of that stuff. You don't see as much of this stuff like you did, but you still occasionally do. But back in the day, this was a lot, especially when this was made. This one was from 1992. And the next ones here, these ones are all from, from Mill Creek, and there's some really cool releases here. This is one that is a show that I remember when I was a kid, I watched this show like crazy because I was a huge fan of Jonathan Brandis, who was in Ladybug. And I always think about Jonathan Brandis, because he, took his own life, and it was just really sad. He was such a really cool actor, and I was such a fan of Ladybugs. And I remember when I heard about what happened to him, he was one of those deaths, his death, Brittany Murphy, certain ones that just always haunt me, really bad, because he was so young and everything. But there's a movie here called Sequest, the complete series. Sorry, not movies, TV series. But here's Jonathan Brandis here. He was in Neverending Story. Was it 2 or the first or second one? I always mix up which one it was. But Ladybugs was my favorite. And then Sidekicks, which never has gotten like an actual, I think it had like this weird rare DVD release. And that was it. So maybe Mill Creek can get that movie. That's one of those movies that like, somehow it's never really come out. It never had a Blu-ray release or anything. It was a great movie that got kind of forgotten about. And this is a show that was all in this underwater sub. And this is all 57 episodes. It also has on here new interviews, featurettes, and with series creator, directors, and cast and crew, and deleted scenes. So there's a lot of features on here. But it's basically, though, Roy Scheider's character is like the captain of this ship. And it's all just kind of what goes on under there. And it's kind of has vibes of like a Star Trek a little bit, but kind of underwater. And it's just kind of like the missions that they go on and everything. But I just loved this show as a kid. Like I watched this thing so much. And like, and I don't know, it's just like, it's a really fun show. It's one of those things where if you didn't grow up watching it, I don't know if you like it as much, but I did. So I always really liked it. The other one here from Mill Creek is the brand new re-release here of the film Basketball, which I've always liked this movie. I remember the first time I saw this movie, I remember watching this movie again and again back in the day, and this was like, I think a lot of people sometimes think that Matt Stone and Trey Parker directed this one, but it was actually David Zucker that was the director of this, and this was before South Park, so this was kind of like right before South Park happened, and I think they had just done Orgasmo before that, and they kind of, I believe like from that they got cast into this, and then South Park came to be, so I feel like Orgasmo and this were all, I think were kind of what had to you know, what helped them get South Park greenlit. The other one here was one what stars Paul Giamatti here, called Safe Men. Like I said, just want to let you guys know this one was available here on Blu-ray. And this is one I liked. I remember seeing this back in theaters. And this is, directed by Brian De Palma. And this is the Black Dahlia film. And I like this movie. I remember really liking this. I think this was 2005 this came out. And I think I remember, too, I think Katie Lang, I remember, acted in the movie from what I can remember. I was really thought that was really cool that she was acting in this from what I can remember. But this is all about the Black Dahlia murder. And it's like, done very like film noirish style and everything. But a great movie if you guys have not seen this one. The other one here is a 3-pack from Mill Creek, and this one has MacGruber, Balls of Fury, and Your Highness here. And I like all these movies. Like Balls of Fury, though, is probably like my favorite of all of them. Even though I think MacGruber is the best movie, Balls of Fury, though, is the one I would say I like the best, just because it was like a really ridiculous movie. But this is a fun set. If you guys have never seen these movies, all these ones are worth checking out. And then the last ones are ones I just want to let you guys know are available. And this is one from Film Movement Classics, and this is one called Donna and Her Two Husbands. And this one has a commentary track on here, behind the scenes featurette on this one here. And then the last one is one to let you guys know is available called Jesus Kid. And this one is from Indieplex. And this one has a theatrical trailer, promotional trailer, and behind the scenes on this one here. But anyway, though, guys, that was all for the review portion of this video. And like I always say, if you guys enjoy these videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching and subscribing. I'll see you guys later. Bye.